Hello guys, welcome to Racing Reef. I'm Rob Shaw and in today's video we're trying to get rid of purple clove polyps. Now, although not particularly aggressive, purple clove polyps can become a nuisance in the aquarium when they grow on every available piece of rock that isn't already occupied by something else. They can grow quickly, they can annoy other corals, and if left to get out of control they can become quite unsightly. I've been suffering with purple clove polyps growing in my tank for a long time now, and every so often I get in there with a toothbrush and I scrub them back, and that's how I've been controlling them up until now. So recently I was watching a Milo's Reef video which was about a visit he'd done to somebody else's reef tank, and he was showing you the beautiful system that they had and all of the equipment and how it's set up, and I love videos like that. I was watching along and the owner of the tank happened to mention that in between his acropora colonies he has purple clove polyps growing. He quite liked them growing there because they stopped the bases of the acroporas from touching each other and therefore fighting. Once these clove polyps start to get out of control, he will add a bunch of tuxedo urchins to his tank to mow it all down. I found this quite intriguing as I have a problem with these clove polyps, and tuxedo urchins are definitely something that I could add to my tank in order to control it if they will do that job for me. So I picked up a couple of tuxedo urchins and I acclimatized them to my tank's water by adding them to a container with the water that they came in and a little drop of my tank water, and every 15 minutes or so I added a bit more of my tank water to slowly adjust the tank parameters to match what was in my tank. I don't like to take any more than 45 minutes to an hour to do this personally, because the water within this tub that I'm adding the water to over time is going to start to drop. It's only a small amount of water and it's not going to hold its temperature as well as the tank does. So it's quite likely that by the time you've finished acclimating these new additions, the temperature is going to be slightly different in the water that you've got. So you can either then take them and refloat them to bring the temperature back up, or what I like to do is just shorten the period at which I acclimate and then add them directly to the tank. So that's what I did. Once I added them to the tank, it took them about 20 minutes or so to start moving around. One of them proceeded to crawl over the back and disappear around the rockwork, and the other one that I put down on the bottom took a little bit longer to get going, but once he did, he started to roam around. Now, up until this point, I haven't seen them eat any of the purple clove polyps. They are both roaming around the tank looking for sources of algae to eat. They will eat coralline algae, I know this much, and the guy from the video assured me that when I spoke to him online that they will do the job for him, and they will do the job for me also. I haven't seen it yet, and they may not do it. Experiences in this hobby can be very different from one person to another. Someone can buy a fish that will eat all of its bubble algae, someone else can buy exactly the same type of fish and it won't touch it. So I'm not going to say this is a definitive answer for you to get rid of these clove polyps, but it's an option you can try. I was quite happy to add a couple of tuxedo urchins, knowing that they may not do the job for me because I quite like them anyway. They are quite characteristic, they have the characteristics of something with a bit of personality. They go around the tank, they're interesting to watch. They will pick anything up that isn't glued down and cart it around the tank for you, which is always fun. And as I look into the tank now, I can see one on the underside of this rock, and he's actually wearing the purple clove polyps as a hat. Maybe he's just mocking me. He says, I'm not going to eat this, but I'll just carry it around, no problem. But it's early days yet. They've been in there for about 2 weeks now, and I'm quite happy to leave them to roam around, and we will make a conclusion later on about whether they are going to remove any of this purple clove polyp or ignore it completely. So if you want to find out the conclusion to this story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and there will be a future update on whether these guys have actually started munching that purple clove polyp. Other options for you if you are suffering with these purple clove polyps is you could buy one of these fancy lasers they use to burn off Aiptasia. That will work quite well if you want to burn them off of the rock. What I would advise is if you go in there and scrub them off or you burn them off with a laser, I would recommend that you do a water change directly after messing with the tank. A lot of these soft corals contain toxins inside which will irritate other corals in the tank, could stunt their growth, could cause them to just not be very happy. So I would suggest that maybe running some carbon is a good idea, and maybe doing a water change after you've been sodding around in the tank is never a bad thing. So that pretty much concludes this episode on getting rid of purple clove polyp. As you can see, it's quite vigorous throughout my aquarium. It clumps up even when it has no space to grow over new pieces of rock. It starts to just grow over the top of itself. It can become quite annoying, although for the most part it doesn't look overly offensive. But if you have any experience with getting rid of clove polyps that I haven't mentioned in this video, please put it down in the comments below. I would be grateful to hear about it, and I'm sure anybody else that's searching for a resolve to this problem will also be glad to hear from you. So if you've had experience with the tuxedo urchins eating it for you, I'd like to hear about that also, because I've only heard one person talk about this as a solution to this problem, and I thought I'd give it a go myself. We are yet to find out whether this is going to be a conclusive outcome or not. So if you've had experience and you can put my mind at ease to say that they will actually eat it, or whether you can tell me that you bought some, added them, and they have never touched it. You've got a tank full of purple clove polyp and you have tuxedo urchins that don't touch it at all. I'd be interested to hear that too. So like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see the conclusion to this video or catch up with any of my other videos that I release. Take it easy guys, and I'll see you in the next video.